Hi guys, German Prepper here. Germany may well be on the brink of a very disturbing political crisis that will threaten its status as a functioning democracy. It has been in the news the last few days that the Alternative for Germany party, or AfD, has been gaining in the polls to a reported 16% of voters backing them nationwide. The people are not happy with the direction Germany is heading, as a great many recent protests have shown. In response to this surge in support for the AfD, the two main political parties in Germany, the SPD, which is left liberal, and CDU, centre-left, are through various channels calling for the AfD to be banned. The Left Party, which has proven links to Antifa, is also voicing support for a ban. So guys, they want to ban, literally ban, the only true opposition party that has not been in a coalition government of one form or another for the last several decades. Their main complaint is that the AfD is a right-of-centre populist party that wants to put German people, German culture, and Germany itself first. This apparently makes the AfD a threat to their liberal democracy. Now you are probably thinking it isn't that bad. They wouldn't really ban the opposition. Well, firstly, they've already put the AfD under investigation by the Office for the Protection of the Constitution, a domestic intelligence agency effectively equivalent to the FBI. This is already heading down a very dark path of surveillance, informants, and possibly agitation. Secondly, it is important to understand just how leftward skewed the political system here in Germany really is. I can think of no better demonstration than to provide you the latest speech by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz for the Progressive Governance Summit in Berlin given yesterday. Make sure you have a sturdy paper bag to hand, guys, just in case. Disclaimer: I agree with nothing in this speech, although it is well worth taking note of. Dear friends and fellow progressives, welcome to Berlin, and a big thank you to the Progressive Centre and all the co-hosts for bringing together so many progressives from all over Europe and the transatlantic community. Why is this Progressive Governance Summit such an important and timely event? Because we are experiencing a Zeitenwende, a drastic turning point, at which the supporters of liberal democracy need to come together more than ever to join forces. Hence the fitting title of this conference. Of course, joining forces and forging alliances with like-minded partners is always a good idea. This is why here in Germany, almost exactly a year ago, 3 different political parties decided to come together to form a governing coalition: Social Democrats, Greens, and Liberals. Progress Coalition, that is the name we gave our alliance back then, and also describes the task we set ourselves: to move our country forward as a free, open, and future-orientated society, with life chances, equal rights, and opportunities for all. February the 24th, Russia's ruthless attack on Ukraine has rendered that task more difficult, but also much more urgent. Of course, even before that date, we had known for quite a while that authoritarians and right-wing populists were gathering steam. Liberal democracy has been under attack for years, both from within and without. But that attack reached a whole new level when Putin's Russia invaded Ukraine. First and foremost, it is the brave men and women of Ukraine who are bearing the brunt. They are the people who are being killed, maimed, raped, and deported. That is why Germany, together with all our friends and partners, categorically supports Ukraine, financially, economically, in terms of humanitarian assistance, and also with weapons, including heavy artillery, modern air defence systems, and flak tanks. And make no mistake, we will continue our support for as long as it takes, for as long as that support is needed to fend off Russia's abhorrent aggression. All along, Vladimir Putin and his enablers have made one thing very clear: this war is not only about Ukraine. They consider their war against Ukraine to be part of a larger crusade, a crusade against liberal democracy, a crusade against the rules-based international order, a crusade against freedom and progress, a crusade against our way of life, and a crusade against what Putin calls the collective West. He means all of us. This is why Ukraine must prevail, in order for liberal democracy and peace to prevail. That is why, for all of us, this is definitely not a time to indulge in what Sigmund Freud once called the narcissism of small differences. In the case of Germany, yes, certainly, Social Democrats, Greens, and Liberals are different parties, or else there would not be three of them. But our differences are truly insignificant when measured against the democratic, liberal, and progressive values that we hold in common. And it is these values, these principles that matter now. That is why I wholeheartedly agree with Anne Applebaum's rousing wake-up call in her book, Twilight of Democracy. And I quote, "Because all authoritarianisms divide, polarize, and separate people into warring camps, the fight against them requires new coalitions. Together we can fight back against lies and liars. Together we can rethink what democracy should look like in a digital age." Only together, I would like to add. This is key. This is what really matters now. If we agree on this one fundamental understanding, we may disagree on the details and on the tactics, as indeed we sometimes do even among allies or in our German Progress Coalition, and as you may do when discussing the way forward at this Progressive Governance Summit. I am absolutely certain that as long as we are united on our fundamentals, these kinds of debates only make us stronger together. Thank you very much. So there we are, guys. A quite cringeworthy speech that personally I found extremely unpleasant. Did you catch that line where he stated the Russian Federation's war in Ukraine to be part of a larger crusade, a crusade against liberal democracy? Incredible narcissism there. What about that Ukraine must prevail in order for liberal democracy and peace to prevail? How does this go hand in hand with vilifying the growing populist opposition and then looking into ways to ban them? I better not comment more. A question for you all now to end. When the only opposition party is eventually banned by a totalitarian socialist government, is it perhaps time to bug out of the country? As always, looking forward to reading your answers. Keep prepping, guys. Cheers for now.